And welcome back everyone to some more F1 25, and we are going to dive into an AI test. Just like in the past that we've done 0% AI versus 110% AI, we're going to put the two extremes to the test, as well as this new AI update. Version 1.12 is now live, of course, if you guys haven't heard yet, released yesterday. And in the previous video in Mexico, we did seem to be competitive, but I did pin the caveat again that it might be that the car is a front runner and has some upgrades on it that makes it a little more competitive against the AI. So in general, I think there are maybe some, misinterpretations we could have from that just one video. And also at the end, when we had fairly similar tires, Piastri and Norris were pulling away in the McLaren. So granted, the tires were overheating. That is an issue that EA have not addressed at all, which seems to be a general issue around all F1 25 players and also some content creators. Speaking with some of them, they were saying there were some tire heating issues that are causing a lot of disadvantages to the player compared to the AI, making them even more OP. So that hasn't been fixed. None of it has been touched. The only thing that has been touched, according to the patch notes, is the cornering. So entry into corner and then exit out of corners, and then the whole corner mechanic of the AI. And that's what we did see in the previous video. So let's put that to the test. 110 AI versus 0% AI, and we're going to go around Silverstone, the most AI circuit, or most OP circuit for the AI. So we'll see what this is all about, if there's any change, any noticeable differences. And of course, if you guys are enjoying the F1 25 content on the channel, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. And let's jump into this AI test. So let's jump into it in Nico Hülkenberg's kick Sauber, of course, running 110 AI as you see right now, and no assists, just like always. And we're going to put to the test how fast the AI is, if they are much faster. And we lost out. I think we were in the back end of the field. So yeah, it wasn't a good experience for us last time. So likewise, are we going to struggle that much? Let's put it to the test. Let's jump into our 110 AI test around Silverstone. Lights out. And we're off. Able to make some moves in the early stages. I think we did that in the previous version as well. We can still do massive dives in the opening laps. Let's see, no ERS, just mode medium with slipstream, and we lose ground. Interesting. Slightly though. We'll check with the future laps how we fare. Alright, let's use a little battery. Catch up to Hajar. Now with DRS. And we're losing ground. Interesting.
We can now use DRS.
All right.
DRS now available.
Thing is, they're not deploying battery down here. They rarely deploy battery. They only deploy battery for the first half of straights. So let's do the same thing then. So battery for the first half of the straight, and around here they cut it off. Wow. They do pull away. Oh, flip that. Took cops a little too tight. Trying to get that DRS, cut those corners. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. And we're gonna lose out, of course. Alright, let's try and stay close to Lawson then. See how we compare against him.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
So no DRS on Lawson. And yet I still can't catch him. I'm catching slightly though. Stay behind me, mate. I'm trying to do an experiment here on Lawson. Come on, stay close to him. So with DRS, I should be able to close up on him, but no. Rather than closing up on Lawson, I lose out to Duan. That's crazy work. So straight line speed is not affected. I mean, that's expected, considering they never talked about straight line speed, which was part of the broken issue. They only talked about cornering speed and corner exit speed, which in this case is also showing corner exit is still a bit fast for the AI. With battery, only able to close in a couple tenths, not enough to even get to the rear bumper. Rear wing of Duan. Medium and going down this old straight, hangar straight. Losing out to Alonso, who has more pace. Okay. Just using this up so I can stay close to Alonso. And we'll recharge. Come on.
Okay, you've just started the final
Damn.
lap of the race. Final lap.
Fast McGee over there. Used up my battery. Alright, let him through. No battery. Slower than my teammate around there too. Crazy. Oh, is there some? Yep. Okay, there is an Alpine right there. Okay, great. Turn in. Turn in on me, huh? Fantastic.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight
Yeah,
damage.
it is what it
Nothing
is.
Too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Okay, overall, even with straight line, it's much slower. We'll check with onboards. That's test we'll do next. Onboard check is next. Oh, bloody heck. That's fine. It's the final corner anyway. All right, that's that. Let's go to 0% AI, which should be like within half a lap. We overtake everyone, and then we'll dive into onboards. So a quick comparison of the fastest lap times here. 127.4, 127.8 in our previous test. So 4/10 difference. 7:24.145 as the fastest time to complete the race. 7:24.8, so slightly slower to finish off the whole race. So fastest lap time is only the key difference here. Let's take a closer look. So with Oscar Piastri in our old one, it was 28.0, so pretty similar. It's 0:02, so slightly faster sector 1 time from the previous. 35.838, so slightly slower in sector 2, and then sector 3 24.2, slightly slower again for an overall fastest lap being slower as well. So let's compare the fastest lap time. So in the previous one, it was Oscar Piastri, 28.002 sector 1, 27.7, so slightly faster for Lewis Hamilton here on the last lap. 35.76, which was again slightly faster here for Lewis Hamilton as well. 24.197, slightly faster here for Lewis Hamilton as well, for an overall time that is faster than Oscar Piastri's fastest lap time from the previous test we did a couple months ago. So comparing Lewis Hamilton with Lewis Hamilton in the past, he had a 27.708, so slightly faster sector 1 in the old model. 35.873, so slightly faster sector 2 in the new model here, 729, so about 5/100ths faster. And then sector 3, 24.290, and this one he's much faster in sector 3 for an overall fastest lap time that's 4/10ths faster than before. So welcome to the 0% AI test, and here in the past we made it past the AI by Lovefield. So past the Wellington Straight and then into Lovefield, we were already ahead of P1. So let's see where we make that overtake in this run here. Of course, granted, we do have to take into account the plus or minus of the AI having a great start. So we'll see. And off we go in Nico Hülkenberg's car. And nonsense like that, literally brake testing into that corner when it's a flat out corner. We're gonna push our way through. So out of corners, they're much slower even on 0% AI. We're about to make this move down the Wellington Straight past Antonelli, who's in the lead. Oh wow. So the cornering has made that a little easier. Well, it's slightly sooner because we just went past Lovefield. We made the move before Lovefield, down the Wellington Straight, towards the end of the Wellington Straight. So given the plus or minus may be similar, but of course, what matters most is the onboard check, which we'll do after this race. So I think I'll cut to that now. So at the end of the 0% AI race, we of course win it with a 52.4 second gap on P2. In the past it was 47, so we did get a slightly faster time here. My best lap is also improved by 5/10, but that is me, so there's not much we can say about that. Overall lap time was slightly fast, or overall race time was also slightly faster with a 7:43.3. It was about 4/10 faster than in before. The next best lap time was 1:41.5 by the looks of it. Yeah, as we go further down, I don't expect the cars to be faster with their best lap time. The best lap time in the past appears to be 1:41.2, so slightly slower in 0% AI. So yeah, we'll jump into the replays and see what happened. So let's jump into some onboards and take a look at what happens here. So this is lap 2, representative of full racing, right? Let's see where they break. Ooh, the jolt happens right there. It's around the 100-meter board here. And they, I believe when we did it in the past, they were braking here. So the AI brakes a little sooner rather than later. The patch said they should be braking a little later than usual. This is the 110 AI footage. So they're braking a little sooner than before. You see the jolt right there. In the past, they were braking a little later than that. So that's an interesting find. As they go down and turn this corner, it's as usual. So let's do a quick look at the 0% AI here. So this is 0% AI and they're already braking here. Hold on. Let's see. 7th gear. And right there. So around the 130 meter board, about 130 meters away from the corner, they're already braking. So that is wild, taking this corner super slow. I think slightly later in the 0% AI, I think they were already braking around the 140 meter board, 150 meter board. So that is slightly faster. And of course, the big test is here. How fast is he going at top speed? So this is lap 2 with DRS open. No battery deployed. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 2.9. I'm braking at around the 70 meter board here. 60 meter board. 60 meter board. Since 50 is right there. So yeah. Around 60 meters braking. And 329 was the max pace, the top speed at which Max Verstappen was driving. Same Max Verstappen, but this is not a good test when they're fighting. Let's take, for example, a car leading this train here. Yeah, the Charles Leclerc seems to be a good one to look at. So let's take a look and see. First off, what's the fastest this guy is going? 315, 316, 316. And brakes at the 110 meter board. So slightly later as well, I think. When in 0% AI, 130, 140 was where they braked before. And now they're braking around 110 and going 316 kph. What about the McLaren behind? 113, I think, was the peak. 113 for him too. 120 for the Mercedes. The Merc. Right behind, also braking around the 110 meter board. Same with Lewis Hamilton going about 120 as well. 124 actually, hold on. Yeah, 125. That was peak, and then he starts braking around 110, 120. So that is where the 0% AI brakes. Much sooner than 110% AI, but slightly later than what I believe was before. And looking back at the former footage from last time, it was also 329. 329 was the maximum speed, top speed that the AI reached. So top speed has not changed. The top speed of the AI going down this straight, the Wellington Straight, has not changed. So that is, again, the issue that players have been saying a lot, that top speed is insane, especially around straight lines, and that has not changed. And that, of course, has not changed because the patch notes doesn't say that. So taking a look at the McLaren, which allegedly is the fastest car, or arguably is the fastest and best performing car in the game, as we've seen with the driver career mode and my team career mode, 331 and brakes there. So around the 60 meter board, 331. Highest max pace. What about this Mercedes? 321 for them. Oh, 322 for a brief second there. 322, 323. So 323. It maxes out at 323. The Ferrari with no DRS, of course, is maxing out at around 305. 307. 308. 308. And this one is 13 kph faster, which is approximately DRS. And then this one is 331. So vastly faster by 23 kph for the McLaren, which of course is the fastest and best performing car. Max Verstappen, on the other hand, is driving at 329, which is close to the McLaren's top speed, DRS open as well. And then Yuki Tsunoda also driving around 329 kph, DRS open as well. Same with this McLaren, 331. The Ferrari behind, 331. So consistently the AI, if pushing, is putting, and not pushing because they're not using overtake here. Notice how they're not using overtake. They use overtake and then disable it just before the bridge. And the top speed they get is at 331. 332 here. 332. What about us, though? So let's look at Kimi Antonelli's top speed here. This is down the straight. 312 kph is top speed. Doesn't budge beyond that. And he begins braking around the 110 meter board. Okay, slightly later than what I believe I saw. Leclerc on the other end going 330. 331. So top speed is the same on 0% AI, but he's already braking at around the 160 meter board because he is in traffic, of course. He's not making that move on Antonelli. Same with the McLaren, yes. 331, 332, 333, and brakes around 130 meter board. Interesting. What about the Red Bull in a battle? So keep that in mind. 320 in a battle, and then brakes around the 130-ish mark. Okay. What about a car not in battle like this one? The Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari goes 324. Begins braking around the 130 meter mark. Okay, and slows down. What about this Red Bull? It goes about 310. Yeah, 310. 311. Brakes around the 100 meter board. This guy. Slightly later than some of the guys ahead, maybe because he's in free air. McLaren going 323 and then braking around the 110 meter board. So top speed seems pretty much similar to the 110 AI. It's just where they brake, like we've said in the past. The adjustment for AI is literally where they brake around corners. So 0% AI means they brake way sooner, take the corner super slow, and then exit slow. Meanwhile, 110 AI means they brake a little later, take the corner at a regular speed, slightly faster speed, and then exit like crazy. Now, what the EA is saying that they've done is that they have slowed down where they brake, or have put the braking point much later than what it used to be in the past. So the braking point is slightly sooner in our test of Silverstone, though. In 110 AI conditions, the braking is slightly sooner than before, I believe. So down this straight then, the big question is, what is the top speed that these guys hit? Is 332. 332, and they brake at the 110 meter board. Right? Because you can see the speedometer go down. So 110 meter boards and 332 max pace. So yeah, compared to the former test we did a couple months ago, 329, 330 I believe was the highest we got. So again, the top speed is pretty much the same between the AI from the past and this model. Going 311. Okay, these guys brake here in free air. They start braking around the 50 meter mark, which is not too far away from the past one where they were braking around the 60 meter board, when in fact you can start braking here or lifting off here and making that turn. So not much of a difference here in free air when they brake. There's not much of a difference. And of course we got to do a quick check at how well they take this corner. I don't think there's much difference in the traction, the OP traction around the final corner compared to the player. All players know this is the corner to slip around. AI is just going full pelt around here. Yeah, and I still think that is the case here. Yeah, it still feels like the AI still has good grip around this final corner. Here we go then. One final test. Wet weather. British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton. Let's go. I nearly said Brazil. But no, this is not Sao Paulo. This is Silverstone. Following my teammate's line. Whew. Side-by-side battle inviting me into the fray as well. Nice. Good grip. Staying close to Leclerc. Oh, Leclerc went wide at Cops. Ooh, need to focus. Wet weather racing's crazy. That corner is still an advantage for the AI compared to the player, but that was expected, especially since how the dry weather tests went.
Watch out for understeer in the wake of
That's
the car
fine.
ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push.
Purple sector 1, baby. AI not adhering to track limits. Still the same. Yeah, no matter how hard I push around there, can't get to the pace of the AI. That's unfortunate. Once I'm in a groove, you'll confident with the car. We're keeping a comfortable lead ahead of Russell, maybe because Russell's fighting. Okay, we need to find some pace here. What's my tire temp saying? Slowly going up. Wow. Sausage curb. So despite making those mistakes, I can still stay competitive against Russell, so it is a good sign. I think wet weather racing is slightly improved. Actually improved, not only slightly. I think we can stay more competitive. even with those mistakes, because 110 AI mistakes are very unforgiving. Like, you will lose a lot of track positions and time. But here we are keeping a little ahead of Russell. Russell would have swallowed past, gobbled my position up, but not anymore. He's taking a little more effort to try and get past me here. So I like that. That is positive.
Okay, gap ahead, 2.2 seconds.
Although my rear tires are looking a little in the warmer side than I want it to be. I want it hovering around the high 60s.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Even with Super ERS, I'm finding a little competitive pace. Of course, AI is engaging that Super ERS. Look at that. We do have some pace. So it's an improvement. Wet weather racing is a bit of an improvement. Granted, we still have to do long running. This is 5 laps. And if we're like this, it might be a good sign for long runs as well. But in racing conditions, we might get overheating tires, as we see the rear starting to overheat a little as we cross the line in P5. So yeah, overall positive, really positive in the wet. The dry situation is still a little suspicious. Overall, what we can say from our test is that it seems like the AI's braking situation has something changed there for sure. Because even in the Silverstone race, so in the dry situation, the braking has changed, where the 0% AI shows that the AI is braking slightly later. But in the 110 AI situation, it seems like in certain occasions, the AI is braking sooner. So something shifted in the code that calls for that kind of change. Even with the Mexico video, we did see the AI brake a little later. So maybe it is by race, things are different. And I can say, I didn't record this, unfortunately, but before recording this video, I did a Monaco race. And I am still very competitive at Monaco. The AI is still vastly slower in Monaco. So not sure what that means. It probably means things have switched slightly, but only on certain circuits, because of course all circuits are very different in how they interact with the car. So that seems to be the case here, because top speed still the same. AI is going 331, 330, and then braking slightly earlier. Still seems to be that the AI difference comes from that wherever they brake. Yeah, 0% AI, vastly sooner braking than 110, of course, but that braking point has moved slightly further ahead of the previous point. 110 AI seems to be either relatively similar or slightly earlier, which is kind of interesting in our little experiment with Silverstone. We'll keep pushing and seeing what we can find as we go through other tracks. I know a lot of other content creators have made videos similar to mine, not real testing, but just feeling out the AI in other tracks. Spa and Monaco. I think Alex Gillen made a video about Spa and Monaco, and it seemed like he had a vastly superior pace compared to the AI. I mean, I am a controller player. I'm going to be like 3-4 seconds slower than those guys on steering, and they're more experienced than I am. I've been playing this game for like 5-6 years, so they've been playing it for longer, much longer. So all respect to them. And please do take my analysis with a grain of salt, if you will. They are vastly more experienced with the game, and they probably know more than I do. So please do reference their videos with greater weight than what we did. But as a casual, just random controller player, it feels like the AI has some minor improvements, but not vastly superior as EA has advertised it to be. The wet weather racing, I think we can be competitive. It looks positive. It's just a matter of controlling the tire temps, which were slightly overheating by the time we were ending our 5th and final lap. But we'll see when we get to a wet race in the driver or my team career mode videos. But that is it for today, guys. I hope it sheds some light on how the AI interacts with us now with the update. I mean, granted, we will see what happens as we continue pushing on with the My Team and Driver Career Mode series, and yeah, we'll continue testing there. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in a new video tomorrow.